Yeah, and it's not just about like wanting to look beautiful for this twin flame. It's that like I just genuinely like wanted to feel good and express that side of myself that I felt like I tucked
Yes.
away. Like he
Yes.
like
I am
that.
worth it. I am worth going and getting my nails done, and I am worth like I just want to feel like exude what I'm feeling inside
Mhm.
for
Yeah, it
yourself
was huge.
for sure.
So I ended up, yeah, there were a few days where I was supposed to see him, but like he couldn't, whatever, and I was just very level about it and non-reactive. And then he saw me the last morning before he left to go back home. I went over to where he was staying, and we slept together again, and then we went in the hot tub and just like hung out. It was not very much time, and then he had to leave and go to the airport. But I'm like on cloud nine after, because and there were so many things like throughout the night. Like we talked so much. He's so open and vulnerable with me. He said to me, he's like, you know exactly how to touch me. He's like, I don't know if it's because you're trained in Reiki or like what it is, but like exactly how I want to be touched. And he always just like leans into me when I touch him. It's like no
Oh,
one else has ever before. Like it's a very much like it's like I know exactly how he wants to be
I
touched.
felt that with my twin precisely. Like just
Yeah.
the timing, or even when you're kissing, or the way they just place their hand on you or touch you, or it's like, are you reading my mind right now? Like how
Yeah.
deep, no other connection has compared in that way. Like it's like, what? Like how are you so like exactly what I just want or like, or it's crazy.
Yeah. And yeah, he's definitely said like quite a few things to me like that. Like
Mhm.
being able to be emotional or vulnerable or talk about things in a very real sense. The way that I touch him, things like that, I guess. Um,
Oh.
and I feel like my whole life I was kind of looking for him. I'm always attracted to people in his like field of work. And I wondered why. I was always drawn to people like both my ex-boyfriends were in the same field of work in one capacity or the other. And like, like a lot of similar like personality traits and stuff. And I'm like, what? Like I was like trying, and even when I was younger, I thought maybe I would go into that line of work. So I do
It's
feel
funny
like maybe
because
I've
I
always
used to I
been,
used to think I'd go into that line of work, and my twin's in the same line of work.
yeah,
And the hotel that you have been meeting your twin
I
at,
know.
that you put him up in, exact same hotel my twin would be put up in where we live. Like it's crazy, and like just these little funny things that's like, okay, maybe that's just total coincidence, but that is funny.
Synchronous,
Yes.
man.
So he starts, so exactly, you guys
So
come
this is when he
together.
starts pulling away.
Yes, you're ready for it, and
Let's
now
get
you're
back into the switching the chase.
exactly. This is
Yeah.
where I was like, wow. And again, I saw in the cards, I warned you that in my readings for like so many people, the same flippin' cards keep coming up. And it's
Yeah.
always to do with the masculine is, yeah, really working on themselves right now, working on even like sort of a root chakra, like material, like almost setting the groundwork for whatever, maybe to live this life together and be this like their masculine energy. Like, look, you came into that feminine side. Well, he had to come more into his sort of masculinity, like his strength, his abundance and manifestation flow, really coming up a lot. And feminine, coming into like sort of forgiveness and understanding, and
Yeah.
just compassion for, and patience comes up a lot for both sides. But
Yeah.
I warned you, like I saw that he would really be focused, like laser focused on his career right now, because he got
Yeah.
a big break in his
Mm-hmm.
career. He needed to also, the cards I keep getting for many, and in your reading, it's like they have to tie up the loose ends. So say with the karmic partner that they had on their end, really like sort of, I feel like no one can be left super hurt in this connection. So they have to clear that karma, literally.
Yeah. And
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 then
he
it started
literally is
happening
saying that.
with you guys. It started showing. So tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about that, where he was at, and going forward now.
So at that point in time, that was like a month ago. I thought I was super excited. Like I knew the cards were like chill. like
Yeah.
don't have expectation. He has to focus on his career right now. And so I was not being needy. I wasn't, even though I wanted to talk to him all the time, obviously, I was giving him space and we would just kind of talk here and there. And he was
You were
supposed to be
being
coming.
so perfect. I'd like to add that. You were being so perfect. You were in the state of balance. And it's like, and this is what I express to clients a lot. It's like, don't run. Like, don't be like, okay, whatever, I don't need you then, and push them away. But don't also like chase, like, where are you? Why aren't you calling me? Da, da, da. It's just like openness, open energetics. It's like saying, like, I love you. I want to be with you. That's all there is to it. But I understand if you need time. And oh my goodness, you were like on the spot, just like doing it, killing it.
Yeah. And it
in
wasn't
those energies.
and I'll just add that that balance isn't always easy.
No,
It
exactly.
definitely required effort because, you long for these people. So I would long for him but I would not reach out because I did not want to overwhelm him. I could feel he was working through things with her. And I started feeling more distance from him, like he was kind of pushing away. Well, before that, he was supposed to come back the next week. He was going to see me, but the work trip shortened. His days were going to be really long and he wasn't going to be able to see me. And I'd already kind of felt that before. So I'd already come into the realization I wasn't going to see him when he came back. So,
and that's hard when your twin is in town from quite far away and they don't, even if they have perfectly good reasons, it's hard not to take it to heart that like they're not just, I don't know, like, okay, meet me at the airport right before I fly
I'm like,
out,
I will literally,
anything.
I'll sleep beside you during bedtime. Like, I will drive with you to the airport and go back. Like, anything to be in your space. But I know that that's not what he needs.
Exactly.
So I had to give him space. I could feel that. And I'll just backtrack something I just remembered. He had come to the city in the spring. And I didn't know that he was here, that he was coming here, but I could feel that he was close and it was like driving me crazy.
Wow.
So he didn't tell me. So I felt off all week. I felt really weird. I felt off. I felt this nervous energy, which is a common thing when when I'm in his space. I feel this like nervous energy, like when I'm not with him, but I know he's around. So I didn't know he was here, but I could feel this weird energy. And then he texted me letting me know that he is here and that he's leaving in a couple hours to fly home. And I was like, oh my God, I like lost my mind and started bawling my eyes out. I was like, he didn't even tell me he was here. Like, and he just avoided seeing me and he was staying like 5 minutes away from me. And like, he was like, I didn't, and he said to me, I was like, how could you like come here and not tell me, not see me, not reach out to me? At that point in time, we hadn't seen each other in like 8 or 9 months. And I was just like devastated. And he said to me, he's like, I don't want to fuck up your life. He's like, you're there, like you seem happy, you're doing good work, you have your boyfriend, you're home, you're settled here. Like, I didn't want to mess with your life. And like he comes from such a place of like such a good-hearted place, but I was devastated.
Wow.
It was like, where are you? I'll come to you right now. I was like bawling.
Because I find with both of you, exactly, like there could be like, he can have this really strong feminine energy, and then say when he did that, that's a very like a masculine thing to do, and you would waver back and forth too. So I mean, it's just the two sides finding that balance point, which both of you are like really getting into these days and close to. But that's interesting because that's him going into his logical masculine sort of like, no, gotta leave her alone, da da da, you know?
Yeah, she's living her life. I don't want to intrude, whatever. And I don't know if he was seeing that girl by then, or I have no idea like what, because they were never really open or public. So I don't know a timeline with them really. But from what me and her have kind of discovered, there was a bit of overlap before I left. So I don't know where he was at with her at that point in time or anything like that either. But so he doesn't see me the next time he comes, but he does reach out and let me know he's not going to be able to see me. I react very calmly. I'd already come to terms with it. And I had spoken with a psychic and she was like, oh, like you and this person, I can feel his distance. He's scared because of a past relationship. Basically all the things we'd talked about, she reaffirmed. And she said, but there's deeper feelings for you in November. So I'm like, ooh, when he comes in November, we're going to be together. I'm like,
yes. We start
no.
No.
So he's coming back and then I feel so much distance from him. It was
Yeah.
like not
You've
even
really
talking to him.
been push pull, and as
Oh
soon as
my
your
God.
energy chills out and you're not all about him, because something I told you was like, even if physically you're giving him space, it
I
was,
know.
we talked about the energetic space. It's like they can feel it. And once you balance, like even recently you're going through a little hard time. I know a lot of my clients were going through like a very purgy time leading up to that, like, and around the 11/11/11 date. It was just, I don't know, everyone was really going through something, and then you neutralized your energy, and then he contacted you again, which is so cool, you know.
Yeah, literally. And yeah, because I remember calling all my energy back to me, because I would feel like I was in his energy so much, even
Mm-hmm.
though I wasn't talking to him. I'd like send him Reiki, I'd pull cards and send them to him sometimes, and um I'd wake up in the morning feeling like his face was in my face, like we were, I don't know if it was him in my energy or me in his energy. I would dream about him, like just like on my mind constantly, and it was actually driving me really crazy.
Yeah, it's
And
hard
then
to deal
he
with.
was going to be here now, or he was supposed to be here like last week or whatever, and it had been quite a period of time since I saw him last. And he's like, oh, like they've changed my dates, I don't think I'm going to be able to see you now, I'm only here for 2 days. I'm devastated
Oh,
because
I
I
was with
thought this
you
was
about
supposed to
that.
be
Yeah.
special. I thought I had to just be patient and pull away until he's here, and then this was the November that she was talking about, and it was going to be transformative, and we're going to be together. And
Yes.
yeah, and no. And
Oh.
so I feel like so much space from him, and I was kind of going crazy on Friday. So I've just been like wanting to like spend time with girlfriends, like go out, and
You've been
um
really good at just keeping your worth up, your vibration up.
yeah, it's been
I
hard
always,
work.
yeah, I tell people, like, do what, you feel good about, and you'll mix it up between socializing and having fun, and just even sometimes, like you said, like you told me about one time you were literally ready to like you were in your jammies and about to have a bath or something, and some friends were like, hey, we're going to be out. You're like, okay. And you, like, that's the thing, feminine side of the energy, when you're feeling down, like you can shift it, as bet you've made an actual effort to shift out of just really going into like a down in the dumps, super sad place, and you're,
Longing.
yeah, you'll let yourself feel it, but then you sort of work through it, is what I'm
Yeah.
seeing.
I
And
feel it without telling him. I work
yeah,
through it without involving him.
exactly. And now even energetically, I find that you are going back into the balance point, which is, I love this person. I feel I'm meant to be with this person. I feel this soul connection, whatever we humans want to call it, twin flame. But I understand there's divine timing involved. I'm going to keep working on my soul mission, my soul growth. You're always doing like really cool, like retreats, events, Reiki things, and just really finding that fulfillment for yourself, your soul. So I feel like you're coming to that place where, like, you'll be a whole and he will be whole, and he's coming to his wholeness.
Yeah.
He finally has a big break in his career. He's really excited. He needs to, like, be a good person and deal with that feminine who she's still having sort of hurt feelings and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So he's karmically doing some work there, and you guys are like killing it. You know what I mean? It's not happening
Oh,
right in this moment, but
no.
like union isn't here, but that's a thing, and that's why I want people to hear your story, is like, we never know, or this could happen. And there were times when I was like, oh my goodness, you could have like lost your mind on him, like, why didn't you tell me about her, and why aren't you seeing me when you come out here, and like take it so personally. But that's when I find you're really balanced in your masculine and your feminine, because you'll be logical again, and like,
Yeah.
okay, no, da da da.
Patient and compassionate, which I know he needs. We have the
Yeah,
same wounds. We're mirrors of each other. I see so much of myself in him. So I know how I have to
exactly.
respond to him, and I
And
know how he
perfectly,
would.
like, we were together, we did a little girls trip, a little getaway, and that's right when your twin told you, like, sorry, I don't think I'm gonna be able to see you. And I remember feeling like, oh, like, I remember that sting of like,
Yeah, we were out for dinner, and I was
yeah, I
bummed.
don't have time to see you.
Yeah, I was so bummed. And that
You
was for
too.
this trip that he's here now.
Yes.
Which things have shifted because I saw him yesterday and I'm seeing him tomorrow.
Right? So, but I was just saying that to you, if you would have gone into just dwelling in that place, like, oh, or got angry at him, which I've done many times because my feminine, like that sensitive, emotional side it like overtakes because my masculine energy wasn't strong enough. So it overtake, I'd have zero logic and just be like, I knew you weren't gonna see me and da da da, and like go into this emotional, like, and even if I didn't express it to him, I'd just be feeling this dark cloud of sadness and emptiness and letting my childhood rejections, like, oh, he's just rejecting me like my dad did, or whatever, like stuff like
Yeah.
that, all coming up and bubbling up, and I'm like, oh, whereas you are now in like a really good balanced place, and then you stayed neutral, and look, he ended up meeting with you anyways. And then when you met with him, you again stayed neutral, even though he was telling you he needs distance, which we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah.
Stayed neutral, and now, oh, actually, are you free on Thursday?
Yeah.
So tell us
Strategy.
about the meeting. Tell us.
Okay. So to preface, when we went away, I decided I really had to start calling my energies back to me and stop kind of being in his energy so much. Like I felt like maybe that was also like smothering him.
And
so he
just to
told me
say,
he
that's
probably wasn't going to be
you
able
and
to
I,
see. Sorry?
I just want to say that's when you and I went away, just in case
Yeah.
it's not clear, because it's we, but exactly, like you
Oh, yeah.
were just, it's like, I felt, and it was weird to back that up too, because we kept inviting people to come with us.
And no one came.
And it just seemed, I was like, I feel like this is meant to be. We need to just go. It felt like this little like twin flame getaway and recharge. Yeah. And we really honored ourselves, took care of ourselves, and it was perfect timing for both of us at the time.
Oh yeah, it was exactly what we needed. And I needed help coming into that level place. I need to kind of know what I need for myself so that I can have a level head throughout whatever he's going through. So I've come to realize that it's not our time, not because maybe he thought he was ready for me before, but I wasn't. Now I'm ready for him, but he's not ready for me. And I think that that's what's shifted the dynamic, but I think we both still have work to do, and that's what that means. Yes. But at least we're in communication. So I reached out to him a couple of days ago because I don't know when. I know he said basically, like, I'm not going to be able to see you. We'll see if I can see you next time because he's coming one more time. So I'm like, you know what? Like, no worries. Let me know if anything changes and you can see me, make time for me. So a couple of days ago, I messaged him. Friday night. Friday night, I was a nutcase. Friday night, I lost my mind.
My clients were all writing me, like friends, like everyone's just in this heavy, purgy. It was a tough energy.
I was looking at his old videos and crying. Like a psycho. And I just like, I was like grasping for attention. I was like on Tinder, like I just wanted a distraction so badly.
Yeah. Someone saved me from myself.
Literally.
Me from facing this shit that I do.
Literally.
Yeah.
So finally my friend invites me out for a drink. She's out for a drink and I'm like, yes. So I go like throw clothes on and get out of my house. Because I knew I shouldn't be alone. And I knew I shouldn't reach out to him. I felt so much distance from him. So I'm out and we're having fun and we're drinking and we're dancing. And I texted him after midnight, kind of being just like, I miss you. Like, I hope you're doing well. And the next day in the morning, he messages me like, hey, I'm sorry that I haven't been reaching out. And I've been so distant. I'm still working through things with this girl. There's still feelings there and blah, 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 whatever. But I'd like to get together with you on Tuesday to talk more about it. So he went from like not seeing me at all and just like putting up a roadblock to being like, let's talk about this. Yeah. So that was good. I was like, at first I'm like, okay, well, this is, though, and I'm feeling vulnerable.
Clear. Yeah.
So yeah, I text him back and I'm like, thank you for being open and honest with me. And, I would like to, I said, I've been giving you space because I can feel that you were kind of pulling away from me. and I would like to meet you for coffee so we can talk. And he doesn't respond, but he continues to look at all my Instagram things.
No.
And I see his little face in the corner. It drive me nuts. So I'm just doing my thing, focusing on myself. Really, I was like, I actually got into a space of like being angry. I was like, I'm going to tell him, like, I'm moving on with my life. And like, I really have to surrender. I have to finally surrender for real. And like, I need to tell him that like, maybe I have to block him. Maybe I have to be the runner again and like block him so I don't see him anymore. And so I went into this weird space of anger towards him. And you were just like, just go in with no expectations and,
neutral energy. And I was telling you too, because I've done that, where you go in and you're like expecting the worst. And as we know, manifestation, law of attraction is so huge in this connection. So I'm like, go in and don't expect the worst either. Like, because you were literally preparing, like, this is what I'm going to say to him. And I'm like,
oh, yeah,
you can meet up with him and let him talk to you, and just, you never know what he's going to say. So don't go in with the anticipation, putting out the energy to the universe, like, okay, I know this is going to go bad. He's about to blah, blah, blah. Like, he's rejecting me. We start to project our own insecurities, and then the universe keeps showing us our shit until we get to that neutral, strong place.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely see that. And luckily I took your advice.
Thank you.
Good job, girl. I pulled cards and it was like, no, you need to approach this from a gentle place of compassion. So basically, he turned coffee into dinner. So I met him for dinner last night. And, I'm like still feeling like maybe I need to tell him I need space and we shouldn't be in each other's life and whatever. So at dinner, he starts being open and vulnerable and telling me kind of, like being frivolous and having sex outside of relationships isn't fulfilling for him. It's feeling like very empty, and all of his childhood wounds make him afraid of abandonment. So he pushes people away. So of course he's mentioning like abandonment. I'm like, okay, well, I can't be like, no, I need you out of my life. Like, I can't deal with this. Like, no, that's abandonment. That's more abandonment.
Prepared for that. Exactly.
He even said to me, like, I'm scared I'll say something and then I'll push you away, or like you'll not want to talk. Whatever. I don't remember what words he said.
Yeah, he's afraid to ruin it. I think a lot of when you go into the masculine side of the energy, it's like, oh my gosh, I could, if she sees the real me, I could totally blow it. And then they get scared of this rejection. And it's from the childhood
trauma.
Issue. Yes. Pain, issues, wound.
So he told me, he wants to earn her trust back, because she said she doesn't trust him anymore, and they have their issues. He doesn't feel romantically from her, from what he said to me. Like, kind of consistent with what he said before, but she still has feelings for him. He values her as a friend, and he just like seeing that he hurt her and seeing how he isn't, it's just made him wake up to things within himself. So he was so open and so vulnerable. I couldn't be angry. I couldn't come from a place of anger. I could only come from a place of love and compassion. So
all your plans of what you said were
they were gone. What you thought you would say. Window. And even him being like, I want to be able to get like deeply like into a relationship, like into a deep place of love for fulfilling sex, not just be frivolous. All these things. And I was like, okay, so this means like it's not going to be just sexual or whatever. There won't be anything sexual between us unless we're in a relationship, is basically what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And once we get through that and I'm just listening, and we start talking about other things like our childhood trauma and where these things come from and all the work that we've done, and we're talking, and we just have like a great conversation. We talk for 2 hours, right? And he's leaving. He's got a flight early on Friday morning, and he had told me originally he wasn't going to see me at all, and then he's like, well, on Thursday I'm going to be finishing early, so maybe we can go out and have a proper night out and whatever. I'll invite people here who want to see me, and you can come out too. And which is like, oh, he totally shifted, because I think he could finally be so honest.
Yeah, you were honest, and you were coming at this with such a neutral energy that you're no longer a threat. You're not. You know what I mean? You are being understanding. You're being compassionate. You're respecting his boundaries that he needs right now, which a lot of us, this this is what's so crazy about this dynamic is you were very the masculine, he was very much the feminine. I will say that when I find that when men, like physical men, or, you know, if it's a same sex relationship, the more masculine energy person, I guess, is the chaser, the dynamic is quite different. They're a little bit of a softer chaser, or it's more neutral. The feminine energy can just get really emotional, and oh my gosh, I've done it so many times. And when I give you and even other people advice, like it's almost like it's not an egoic, like, oh, I'm all knowing and I keep saying that, but it's literally like, please, I want to save you from when I
Yeah.
did ABC.
Learn from my mistakes.
Literally, exactly. And oh my goodness, this neutrality. And then now him, it's seeming like he's coming to his heart and even into a sort of feminine energy. Like, I don't want to have empty sex.
Yeah.
I was just
He's like,
talking
that's
in my
not
last
fulfilling
video.
for me
So many
anymore.
men are stuck in the lower chakras, like strong masculine energy, stuck in their sexual, you know, energy and like, oh, I must conquer, you know. And for him, that's beautiful. And that
I know.
you honored
So like,
that, beautiful.
how could I ever be upset with the things he's saying? I don't want to hurt this person. I want to gain their trust back. So I don't want to do anything that's shady. And, you know, I see these things in myself. I want to work through it. And I don't want him to say, how could I possibly, even if that means lots of space from me, how could I ever approach that with anything but love? Because we're
Yeah.
mirrors of each other. We have the same wounds. And I'm so proud of him for all the work that he's been doing and what he like wants to accomplish. And I'm like coming more into like my power and being okay with being without him. I'm like, okay, we're not going to be together for a while. I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to plan some good things. I'm going to move on with my life. And like,
great stuff going on. You're such a good example to the feminines out there that want to, you know, they're, if you just sit around and you feel empty and alone without your twin, you need to get out there and find yourself. And you have done that. Like, you got your, what's your title as a holistic nutritionist? It's like registered holistic nutritionist, right? You got that. You're always reading, you're always learning, you're always growing, you're going to meetup groups, you're going to events, you're making plans with friends, or excuse me. I love that you are finding the path to your wholeness, to your fulfillment, to your soul growth. And you're literally in such a good energetic space as well, because you've created that. You're like, okay, I understand if you got to go do you got to work on your career and work through things with that girl and work through your childhood wounds. I'll be over here. I love you unconditionally, and I'll be over here doing my thing, fulfilling myself. And hey, like it's okay.
Yeah.
That's really beautiful. That's really beautiful that you're in that balanced of a state to allow and just roll with it and flow with it, because that's what this energy of this whole twin flame thing is. It's that flow, it's that mirror, it's healing, it's awakening paths, and the union is, like I've always said, it's just sort of the cherry on top if it happens.
Absolutely. Like, so I don't know when union will come. I do think it will. Yes. I really do. I think we'll end up together, and I think that once we're together, that will be it for us. So I'm just gonna, you know, I don't want it to come sooner than it's ready, because I want us to be ready for what it's gonna be.
Yes.
And I don't know what that's going to look like and when that's going to be. So I'm going to move on with my life, and I'm going to stay connected to him. Even last night, he was texting me like, so lovely having dinner with you. You know, pencil me in for Thursday. We're going to hang out like for sure. And, you know, and then we were just talking about other things, and he said good night. Like, these things that he'd been putting blocks up. Like, I was like, why isn't he talking to me? Why isn't he texting me? Like, he slept with me, and, you know, I'm single now, and like, why? Like, you know, I didn't understand. And now it's like I've opened everything up, because I was like, he even said, I even said to him, I was like, you can never lose me. I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, you couldn't say anything to ever lose me. I'm not going to abandon you, is like, you know, basically what I wanted him to really feel from that. And I'm going to, like, I was so unopen to like dating and things like that, because I was like, no, I'm just waiting for him. And like, what if I get in another relationship and then he's ready for me and I ruin it again? I'm like, no, it's all going to be divine timing. So I'm like, I'm going on a date on Saturday with someone else, someone new. Good. And I bought myself a nice dress, and I'm going to feel pretty, and I'm going to go out on a date. And I'm going to allow myself to the space to live my life without waiting.
Good. That
And
is
believe
so
that
perfect.
it's all going to happen as it's meant to, and
Yeah.
when it's meant to, and I'm just letting go. This is the first time that I'm actually surrendering without the thought being that I have to surrender. And it's when I'm finally available and ready to be with him is when I'm finally surrendering and letting go.
Wow. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so perfect. I just see you guys are just floating through this. It's amazing. And I do see good things. I do think twins are meant to come into union. I know a lot of us feminine have sort of tried to just shut off the connection lately, or just, but I think some of us just had to shut off the connection for a while at least. And who knows, like you said, it's divine timing. It could be for a year, 5 years, a
Yeah.
month.
Who
We
knows?
don't know. And that's okay to not know. And it's okay to
Yeah.
sit in the energy of just do what feels good. Do what feels good for you at this time and flow with it, and just allow, be in the state of allowance, be in the state of receiving what the universe has to send your way, which again, you and I talk a lot about manifestation and law of attraction, and that's like the main thing they teach, like put it out there, feel it, but let it go,
Yeah.
and you really are
Definitely.
practicing that. Well, I'm so
And
excited for you
it's been a
guys.
long and hard lesson, but I feel like I'm in a good place now, and I could see kind of where he's at because he was honest with me, and I'm so glad all the times that I wasn't reactive or that I didn't constantly reach out, and I held myself back even when that was hard, because we could get to this place where he could be so honest with me that I can really see where he's at and the work that he has left to do, and I can really gauge where we're at in union, so I can let go, and I can just live my life, and like we've
Yes,
connected in a way that I think that he's not going to run from me. It doesn't mean
that
he's running to
trust.
me,
Yeah.
but I can feel that he's going to want to be connected with me much more now, because he could see that I don't have expectations that he needs to be with me right now, and that
Yeah.
I'm giving him the space to do his thing.
But at the
And I'm,
same time, being able to say, I really miss you. I
yeah,
really love you.
I care about you very much. I haven't
Yeah.
said the words I love you. I thought about
That's
it many
okay.
times, but I'm worried that that's too much for him right now. Because
That's
I was even
okay.
thinking about telling him, like, I love you in an unconditional way, whether we're in a relationship or not, whether you're with someone else or you live here, you live there, we're apart for a period of time. Like, I love you in an unconditional way that can express in whatever dynamic we have. But I think it might be too much for him.
Yeah, and that's good. You're tuned into his energy. And honestly, sometimes it is too much for them. Like
Yeah.
it can be overwhelming. When I
Especially him,
like,
like he doesn't take that stuff lightly. He is very
no.
like he's very afraid and closed off, so the word love, I can imagine, would carry a lot of heaviness for him.
Oh,
So
my poor
the
twin, when
ways.
I told him I loved him, and I've never said it to a man first. I've said this before. I always thought a
You
man should say
waited.
it first. And literally it was just like, oh, like I wanted to say it for so long. And I'm like, why isn't he saying it? And finally it just
Came out.
blurted out of my mouth, and he looked like he was about to have a freaking panic attack. Like I think
Yeah.
he was having a panic attack. Like it was like, oh, 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 like the weight that came with those words. You're right. Like it's good if you feel that it's not the right time to say those words quite yet.
It's
That's okay.
not.
Hold on to the
And
feeling.
I've loved him for over a year. It's not the right time to tell him.
Aw. Yes, and that's totally okay.
Yeah.
Everything, follow that intuition. And we're all, and that's a main key of why I wanted to put Will up on here for his interview. It's like we can, especially mostly feminines listen to the YouTube. Some masculine energies are nowadays. I will say a lot of people that even do card readers or card readings, they used to be like, okay, this is the masculine's energy, this is the feminine's. And I think you and your twin are such a great example of nowadays they're like, I'm just doing a reading of the energies, take what resonates for your side, because
Yeah.
energies are so melded at this point that you can't say one is like the clear runner and the clear chaser, the clear masculine feminine, and you and your twin really represent that. Like again, I felt beginning you're kind of like the masculine, like no, logical, gotta go, gotta move, gotta do what's right for me, and it was all valid. Thank goodness you followed that,
Yeah.
because you were I believe, divinely guided. It was meant to be in your path, in your soul contract, to get some work done. If you didn't get that done, do you really think you would be handling it this well right
Oh,
now?
no. No. That's why I say, like, if I had left my boyfriend for him and just jumped into a relationship with him when neither one of us was ready, that would have ended in flames.
Right?
That would have been
Exactly.
not good. And yes, I was much less level headed back then. I've done a lot of spiritual growth in that year being away from him because you're in the pain and you're trying to hide from this connection. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to dig deep and I'm going to work on myself so I can like get through this. I'm going to preoccupy my brain by delving into my career and my spiritual growth because I'm constantly aching for this human being.
Yes.
Oh,
and
I
it got
would
you
not
this
have
perfect
handled it
space.
well. He would have gone running a long time ago, or we would have been together and it would have ruined it to the point where we wouldn't even be talking. Like, yeah, I know.
Yes.
Would have been
And
awful.
he ended up with that girl, and they just have they're not really boyfriend and girlfriend, but they have some kind of connection.
Yeah,
So
there's something to be worked through there. There was a purpose.
Yeah.
I felt it. And maybe that's the twin flame thing, that I could feel that they were going to have something even the moment I met her. I felt
Yeah.
it. It was
Yes.
weird. It
Yeah.
was super weird because me and him are in the full throes of this thing. And I meet her and I'm like, there's something that's going to happen between them. I just knew.
And it's funny because you are energetically connected to her too. And sometimes that happens where there's this third party, and it's almost like, oh, did we have some kind of, love triangle in a past life? Or there's something funny here. Like there's some unfinished business. There's something.
Totally.
So that's really cool that your intuition just picked up on it. So, and now time and space is being allowed for each other and respect to work through this. And I'm so happy for you guys. And you're welcome to come back anytime and give us an update, or let us know how it goes along for you.
Oh, well, you'll know when it's time for another one because you're you're one of my best friends. So
Yes, we've become such good friends through this. I'm so thankful. You're such a ray of
Me
light
too.
and such a positive, uplifting person for me to even be around in my path lately. Will mentioned in his last video that he's really just been in a process of weeding out sort of lower vibrational people, I guess you could say. And some
Yeah.
people comments like, oh, that's not nice or something. And it's like, no, if you're resonating with different people, different food, different vibrations, different circles, like it's
You
for a
gotta
reason.
follow that.
Exactly. And if it's uplifting you, why would you want to hang out with negative, low vibrational people? You know what I mean? So you've been so great to be around, so high vibrational. You
Oh,
teach me
thank
as
you.
much as I'm sure I've helped you with on this path, because it's like, oh wow, like just seeing that balance, because you have that masculine feminine balance, and that's what I in my path had to keep working towards, is getting that logic and that masculine energy up, so
Yeah.
it's been so great. It's been so great. And exactly, we've become such good friends, and I believe that the universe puts the right people in your path at the right time. And even
I
us
agree.
ending up on our little trip together recently, it was perfect. We both needed it. We had the chance to connect, and we were inviting other people. It just wasn't working out. It's like, okay, I'm just feeling like it's just supposed to be you and I for some reason. You're like, okay, I'm cool with that. Let's go. And it was exactly, precisely perfect. And I just know, thank you, universe. You're putting the right people in my path. I meant to be in your path to help you in certain ways. It's just wonderful. I'm so thankful for it.
Oh, me too. Absolutely. You've
Oh,
helped me so much. And I said it before. I was like, if I hadn't met you and you hadn't helped me so much to understand what this twin flame connection is, I don't think I could have had such a level head with the feelings that I have. But now that I have such a deeper understanding for it and what it is, I can approach it from this open, compassionate, level-minded place, and knowing that what's mine, I can never lose. So I don't have to cling and attach and grasp. I can just flow. And when I'm having a hard time, I can talk to you and you're like, oh yeah, I'm seeing that with all of the feminines right now. And it's like, oh, I'm not alone and this is
no.
normal. And
Yeah.
yeah.
and we all help each other in whatever way that's meant to be. And I'm so thankful for the whole twin flame community. Will was calling it like a cult and all this, and I'm like, no, like don't you call it that? It's like we're all helping each other.
We're a
Thank
community.
Yeah, like thank goodness for YouTube and for, you know, even healers, or it just, we all help each other. I've had visions before of us like literally like trailblazers on this path. We're meant to help other people, and we're like literally, like I've had a vision of us being this life raft of, you know, just souls holding, like linking arms out in rough seas, and every time someone's about to fall. So thank you so, so much for coming on. Your story's amazing, and thank you for sharing it with all of us. I'm sure it will help. Even if it helps one person, is always what I say, then hey, it was worth putting this out. So thank you so much for sharing your time and your story.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's always fun to kind of comb through it all and see like
Right.
so much change has happened in the last little while. And yeah, it's just so funny to reflect back at a lot of self-growth and a lot of change has happened through this. And I think it's been such a catalyst. And I'm really grateful for all the guidance that you
Oh,
provide.
thank you, hon. You were meant to share it today, and even with this, it was divinely timed because we were supposed to do this interview like a couple other times and it just didn't work out, and today was just perfect. And you're at a perfect place. You just met with your twin flame last night.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm so thankful.
Right.
Yes. Okay, my dear. Well, thank you so much, and we will speak to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.